Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am very excited about today's video because I have been on YouTube now for a whole entire year. I honestly can't even believe it. When I started this channel a year ago, I think my first video was published on February 15th, 2021. And it was supposed to be published on Valentine's Day, but it was my very first video and we had like really shitty internet at the time and it took like 22 hours to upload. And yeah, when I first started my channel, when I filmed my very first video, I really don't think I expected to be here still a whole year later. I really thought that it was just kind of gonna be, I mean, it's still very much a hobby channel, but I thought that it would just, I thought that I would, you know, kind of go through one of my little interest phases and it would fizzle out. But it turns out that I really love making YouTube videos. I really love being here. I really love talking to you guys every week or every couple of weeks, depending on my mood and my filming schedule. But yeah, one whole year later and real girl shit is still a thing. And honestly, a huge part of me being here is thanks to you guys. If I hadn't established this nice little community that we've got going, I don't think that I would still be here. But a few of you guys, you know, have been really, all of you guys have been great, but there's a few of you, and again, you know who you are. You've just been such a wonderful and integral part of my little community here on this corner of the internet, and you make me happy, and I'm assuming that I'm still producing content that you are very much interested in and you are still coming back every week. So yeah, thank you, and hopefully we can continue to grow together. And speaking of growth, what is really interesting is like looking back at my first video, and I actually watched it today, and there's a few things that made me laugh out loud about my very first video. Number one, just like the quality improvement from video 1 to video 50. I think this is also my 50th video, so that's kind of cool. It's just really hilarious. But there's also a number of things that we'll get into today as I start to do my makeup that I said in my first video. I'm just, you know, doing my eyebrows here as I usually do. Oh, one thing that hasn't changed is my eyebrows are still terrible. But I have full bangs, and I think I got my full bangs not too long after I filmed my first video. And in my first video, we were talking about millennial side parts, and I still had like swoopy long kind of side bangs. So yeah, since the full bangs have made their return, the eyebrows have been significantly less important in my life. But as I have been using for well over a year now, and is as evidenced, just chronicled in this YouTube journey, I am still using the Got to Be Glued spiking glue for my eyebrows, thanks to Alanna. So this is a shout out to some of the products that I've also been using now for an entire year and are still kind of staples, still throwing shit, that are still staples in my daily makeup routine. And so kind of as I did in my very first video, I am doing sort of just a play on my everyday makeup today as we talk. And I've already done, like I've already got skincare on because it's, you know, it's late in the day. So I'm not gonna put too much on. I might add just a tiny squeeze of the Lila B Aglow priming oil, which I'm using because I'm just trying to get through. And when my skin is feeling like extra dry, especially at the end of the day, it has been nice. I don't know if this is a product that I could get away with using during the day, especially in the summer, because I feel like I would get super greasy and oily. But when I just need a little bit of extra moisture when I'm applying makeup, it's actually quite lovely. And one of the things that I'll mention in that first video, I went through like my whole skincare. I laid down like all of my skincare base before I went into the makeup, and I said very specifically that I don't use chemical sunscreen. And you know, I went on a whole I only use mineral sunscreen rant for like several videos. And that was all until this Garnier Green Labs Pinus C Serum Cream SPF 30, you know, changed my mind. And I have been using this. I think this is, I'm almost done. This is my second bottle that I have used. So that's something that changed. I have been sort of converted into the chemical sunscreen, or converted back into the chemical sunscreen land. But I, you know, I really honed in on the fact that I didn't want to use chemical sunscreen because it soaks into your bloodstream in that first video. I'm gonna go in. My skin, knock on wood. This is bamboo, knock on wood. My skin is doing okay at the moment. I was having a lot of, I mean, I've still got some like scars. I was having a lot of like hormonal breakouts. So I'm gonna cover my few blemishes and my tired eyes with, which I have also been using for an entire year, which is probably gross, the Merit Perfecting Complexion Stick in Camel, the very same one that I used in my very first video. Still going strong. And, you know, in that very first video, something that I also said was, I don't use foundation. I only use concealer. And well, if you've been here for a minute, you will have noticed that I was also converted on that slightly. I mean, I still only have 2 foundations in my collection now, but nevertheless, I have them, whereas before I did not. And that is the Typology Tinted Serum in the shade 03 and the LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation in the shade MG5. And I still do get some use out of these. I'm still not really like a full foundation person, although Kosas just released a foundation that seems very intriguing. I'm very tempted, but I just don't, I'm still kind of trying to do a no buy or like a low buy, so I don't really want to buy it. And I already have 2 that like, they're definitely gonna go bad before I use all of them. So what I am going through is concealers, and there's a number of, you know, new concealers and repurchases that I will want to make as time goes on, but I can't believe that this Merit stick is still going strong. And I guess it's perfect that it's February again, because it really is, this camel shade is perfect for me, like at my skin tone at this time of year. So, you know, February, I haven't been getting out, haven't been getting any sunshine. There's not a lot of direct from the sun vitamin D happening over here. Still being somewhat of a basement troll, although I am getting out of my house more this year than last year. And again, if you've been here for a minute, we know why, because I have a boyfriend now. Anyway, so yeah, I just thought it was funny that I went from like no chemical sunscreen to, oh, chemical sunscreen, no foundation to, oh, we use foundation now. I still suck at using brow pencils, so that hasn't changed. I feel like everything and nothing has changed in the last year. On my microcosmic scale here and like on a global scale, I feel like so many of us are, you know, living the Groundhog Day thing. Oh boy. And in that first video, what I was, the topic of conversation then was millennial side parts. And that, because that was at the time when Gen Z was really reaming on millennials for our side parts because they were ugly and like, you guys need to be moving to middle parts and blah, blah, blah. And I said, first of all, I demonstrated why I personally cannot pull off a center part. And then I went on to say, it's not like we're bringing back the mullet. And if you have been paying attention to hair trends at all in the last year, that's kind of exactly what we did. We went from holding firm on our side parts to reinvigorating or revitalizing rather, or giving a revival to the mullet. But first we went to the shag, and then we went to the wolf cut. And I would say that the wolf cut, it's like a same but different thing. There's the loose shag, which I started to do with my hair, then more of the wolf cut. But then, you know, the mullet the like shaggy mullet really, we brought it back, and I would say that was like a millennial driven hair trend. So am I psychic? I have often wondered, but I just thought that was très amusing. Très amusant. I just used, sorry I didn't tell you, this is the Alanna Pure Radiant Finishing Powder in the shade Havana, and it's just this teeny tiny little jar here. And I want to say, did I use this in 2 videos ago? I can't remember. I rarely used this product on my channel, but I have been using it a lot lately. I pulled it out maybe like a month ago, just, you know, kind of for shits and giggles, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that I really enjoy that. It's a very nice shade, just for a little warmth. Yeah, so I can't believe we brought the mullet back. It's not like we're bringing the mullet back. Oh, Gen Z really hates us. Although I do feel like the disdain for us, or at least the outward disdain for millennials, did kind of slow down. There seems to have been like, or there seems to be a reduction sort of in the like outward loathing, public loathing anyways of us. And I feel like that's because there's just so much other shit happening. Like, so much shit has happened in the past year. So much shit continues to happen that's just absolutely like whack. Millennials sort of faded out of the main focus there, and I gotta say, I'm not mad about it. I'm going in with the Rare Beauty liquid eyeshadow in the shade Nearly Neutral. And I believe I have sort of ranted about the shade range and the colors for these eyeshadows. They're all pink. They're all shades of pink. I don't really know how this is nearly neutral. It is a shade of pink. I'm not mad at the shade, but it's just like they gave them all of these sort of like nearly mauve and mauve. Don't hurt me. Nearly rose, nearly, I don't know what the colors actually are, but it's just like, it should have been nearly pink 01, nearly pink 02, because they're all shades of pink. Shades of pink more so than the colors that they are being claimed with the like names of the shades. But anyways, that really doesn't matter. I'm just putting a little tiny bit of that all over my eyelids, just for, you know, some fresh color that isn't quite brown. I do like it. And I do like the packaging. I like that it's flat on one side. It's just nice. I know Rare Beauty has also come out with a couple of new products recently, and I've also been very tempted to try them, but I just, again, they're products that I kind of already have in one way or another, and it just didn't really seem necessary. However, I am going to be doing a brand first encounter soon, and by soon I mean whenever it gets to me. And I did break my no-buy for that, and not even consciously. Oh, subconsciously definitely, but I'm excited. It is a brand that I have never tried before, and I am using Hannah Louise Poston's new request to call first impressions first encounters, and I do like that so much better. So once again, thank you HLP for guiding us, for being the guiding light. Yeah, I'm excited for that, so that will be coming soon. As per usual, and I have been using this for a very long time now, I am just going in with the Nude by Nature Natural Illusion Pressed Eyeshadow in the shade 02 Stone. As you can see by that little divot there, she has had frequent use. She has been a friend, an everyday friend, because it is just such a good shade for my lower lash line particularly. I do put it on my upper lashes just a little bit, but my favorite is to do my eyes like this, as I have just done them, with like a light wash of color on the lids, and then that like smudge, definition smudge kind of deal on the lower lash line. But I will put just a teensy tiny, I can speak. That hasn't changed either. Neither has my terrible framing. It is different in every single video, and to be fair to myself, it's because I have to tear down and set up every single time I film. I don't have an exclusive filming room where I can just leave things set up, but the framing is different every single time. It never looks the same. Maybe you've never noticed, but I sure have. I guess I'm, you know, you're always your worst critic. Anyways, going in, as I said, with the Nude by Nature in Stone, and just lightly. I'm not even pressing. I'm kind of like just brushing it onto the upper lash line. And for whatever reason, it actually just doesn't perform the same way on my upper lash line as it does on my lower. I don't know what it is. There's some kind of weird science happening here, and I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It just doesn't. It doesn't. Maybe it's because my eyelid, the texture of my eyelid skin is different. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, that's like virtually it for the eyes. This is like, again, kind of an iteration of the everyday makeup that I've been doing lately. And I think I've actually been wearing more makeup. Like a year ago when I first filmed, I wasn't even doing, I mean, yeah, it's a variation on this. It was just like, you know, concealer where I needed it, bronzer to warm up the skin. I was using my Marcel eyeliner in Copper Coin at the time. A bronzer, I still had my Kosas bronzer at that point. I finally said fuck it after it just like hard panned way too many times. And I didn't want to put up with it anymore. I would wash a little bit of that on my eyelids, and then it was just mascara. And as I was watching my video, I was using my Ilia Limitless Lash, and I was like, oof. I do miss my Ilia. I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Big Mood today, which you do know that I like. And it's quite good and great mascara on a budget. But seeing the Ilia Limitless Lash was just like, it really does a nice job. And in that video, you can tell if you want to, go watch it back, feel free. But I'm like, obviously so self-conscious. It was my first video. I wasn't comfortable on camera yet. You know, we're still developing that skill. There's always room for improvement, but I just was umming and ahhing and hemming and hawing. And if I think some of my videos now are incoherent, that one was something special. And I was using my mom's old Canon camera, so the quality was bad. I didn't have my softbox yet, so the lighting was shit. Again, there's still tons of room for improvement in all of this, but it was you know what, good for me, good for 30-year-old me, just taking a leap of faith and doing something creative way outside of my comfort zone at the time. Because look where I am now. I have evolved so much. And one of the notes that I made as I was watching my video, and like my first video, and thinking about today's video, is like, if my channel, the first year of my channel is like proof of anything, it's like, if this past year has taught me anything, if these past few years have taught me anything, it's that, you know, we are truly dynamic creatures. Humans are not meant to be static and never changing. We are meant to be ever changing. We are meant to constantly grow and evolve, and we are designed to constantly have our interests and our ideas change and our minds expanded. And I think I have really accomplished that in the last year. And it's all been documented, which is really cool. Like, even just as like a video diary for myself, even if, you know, in another 6 months I decide I don't want to film on YouTube anymore, I now have this chronicle of a year of my life. I'm just proud of that. I'm proud of how I have grown in that time. I think it's really special. I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of everything that I've accomplished here on YouTube in the last year, everything that I've accomplished, you know, in my personal life in the past year. It's just been been good. I think I've told you this before, but I address my journals to like little me. So to little me, to younger me, to my younger self, and my inner child, you did good. You did good, girl. And you're gonna keep doing good, and you're gonna keep being the best and better version of yourself as time goes on. And like, if you feel stuck where you are right now and frustrated for whatever reason, just know that like there actually is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I am proof of that. I am proof of all of the hard work that you do, that you put into your everyday, all of the care and love that you put into all of your relationships and your life. It's worth it, because I know sometimes it feels like it's not, but it is. Feeling a little emotional, guys. Ugh. I regret switching to this eyelash curler. It's an old Revlon one, and I don't like it. I don't like the shape. It's like a little pointy. I don't know if you can tell. I like it. It doesn't do a very good job. And it always kind of makes me a little bit scared that I'm going to rip out my eyelashes. Anyways, one of the other things that I said in my first video as I was ranting about, you know, everybody taking a shit on millennials. And I was like, so what if I don't watch TikTok? Again, LMAO. Because look at me now. Remember that whole video I made about how TikTok had made me question my entire identity? Oh, good times, guys. Time is wild. Life is wild. It is a roller coaster even if you are not a world traveler. I mean, why would I need to go anywhere? I make my own adventures right here in my basement. Oh, good times. If I do stay on YouTube, I'm gonna come back and watch this video and be like, good God, shut the fuck up. Like, why do people listen to you talk? Oh gosh. You know, sometimes this mascara really makes me happy, and other times I'm just like, what happened? Why? What happened here? It's not that good. I also think part of my dissatisfaction with the eyelashes today is because of this stupid eyelash curler, because I just didn't get the curvature of the lash that I was hoping for. My lashes definitely need help in that department. I need to stop also putting more product on my right eye. It's been loaded up quite a lot. What I've got, even just within this year, again, like I said, to repeat myself, repeating myself, I've got this beautiful, documented, chronicled evidence of my personal growth and kind of like evolution in a year, and I think that's kind of cool. And again, if you're here and you have been here for this journey, if you're new here, I'm like literally so thrilled, and I can't wait to keep creating in this space and developing this little community and keep experiencing all of the real and wacky and beautiful things that happen on a day-to-day and week-to-week, month-to-month basis, because it's been a wild ride. I just have a few more products here, and then that's it. I think we're done with this little iteration on my everyday face. This is something that I pulled out recently from my little makeup stash. I didn't buy it. It was already purchased, but I was feeling bored with some of my blushes. I wanted something a little bit, again, fresher. I think it's just like the February doldrummy vibe. I want spring. I am tired of winter. I'm over it. I want spring. I want the birdies to come back out. I want all of the bright, beautiful colors. I want to see some flowers again. So I pulled this out of my collection, and it is the e.l.f. Putty Blush. And for whatever reason, they do not list the color on the packaging, but it's the like bright pink one. I don't want to put this too close because keeping your cream blush clean, which was my second video, failed me because this is disgusting. But what color is this? It is, go, Bora Bora. Wow. Like, e.l.f., I love the product and I love the color, but can you please put the name on the packaging? Would be super helpful. So I'm just taking also an e.l.f. product. It is an e.l.f. highlighting brush, but I have been using it with the putty blush and I really like it. I like the way that it applies. I don't particularly enjoy applying the putty blush with my fingers as the kind of, I think that's like what the instructions are, to use your fingers, but because it's a putty to like powder formula, I didn't feel like that worked very well to me. Also just because dipping my finger into the component is fine, but then using my finger to blend the product into my skin, I don't actually like the feeling against my fingers of the like transformation from the like cream / putty formula to powder. It just gives me the willies. I don't like it. So with this very like fluffy kind of, would you call this domed? I don't know. This fluffy highlighter brush, I really like the way that it applies. And that's probably a little bit too much and too pink, too cool toned, but I don't care. I like it. I like it a lot. I've been wearing it a lot, as you can probably tell, because this brush is very pink. It's also purple. Pink and purple. Isn't that so cute? It just gives me like such a adorable little flush of pink, and it really makes up for the fact that I officially decluttered my Kosas 8th Muse. I do quite like the putty blush formula. I have the putty bronzer as well, but I just, again, I've got a number of products in that realm on the go and didn't really want to open it. I use blush a lot, and I'm more likely to go through and use multiple blushes than I am things like bronzer and like concealers. If I have too many things open, I just sort of get overwhelmed. But I like a lot of variety with the blush. And I like it. I like this little pop of color. It's very cute. I feel cute. I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty. Pretty and witty. Bright. Because I've got a lot of pink going on, I'm just going to go neutral on the lips, and I'm going to dig into the final little drippy droplets of my Shine On Lip Jelly in Cashew. Milky lip jelly, right? I don't know. Anyways, my face of makeup is done, which means I can stop talking. And yeah, I think that is everything. It was fun to watch back my very first video. And again, I'll have linked it somewhere in this video in the little like thing. If you're remotely interested in my first train wreck, have at it, have fun. But yeah, it was amusing for me to watch that back and just be like, yep, you changed your mind, chick. You moved on. You foresaw the revival of the mullet. You nearly participated in such revival. Ooh, another thing that has happened, which kind of like made me feel justified in feeling so protective of and like defensive of millennials, is that we have seen like a full revival of like the emo vibes from like the early 2000s. Like all of that music seems to be coming back. There's that music festival that's happening with like all of the headliners. Avril Lavigne's making new music. You know, maybe nature is healing. I don't know, but it seems things are happening. I'm not even gonna say good things are happening. Things are happening. Things are changing as they should. And while there is still lots of bad shit and stupid people, there's also us. And that makes me really happy. All right, I'm going to zip it and I'm gonna sign off. Again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for participating. in this journey with me. Thank you so much for bearing with me as I stumble and fumble. It means so much to me. And this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like what you saw today, and I would love to have you as part of the Land fam. We do have fun here. We do have a cute, fun time just doing real girl shit. And yeah, that is everything from me today, guys. Once more, for the road, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.